Hello everybody and welcome to Let's Play Terminal Squad Swarmites. Terminal Squad Swarmites is a game with indirect control where you must erect a chain of buildings which generate resources for construction and combat units for destruction of an enemy. So it's basically like a tower defense game, and it's a fun little game. It's developed by Droid Riot and published by the Trinity Project, and they were kind enough to send over a code. I've actually played through a little bit of the game, excuse me, because I wanted to just check it out, and I didn't see any way to start over. But honestly, the beginning of the game is a little boring, and it's kind of, I don't want to say confusing, but I didn't really know what I was doing at first, and I didn't see a tutorial, so that would be something that I think would be good to add. But I think I've got a decent grasp on how this plays now, so let's just jump in and check it out. So these are the different abilities we have. So we've got a drone. Releases a drone that attacks nearby opponents or enemy defenses, and I've leveled it up a couple of times. Overload, it increases the amount of energy and resource produced times 2 for 10 seconds. Grants invulnerability to buildings for 5 seconds. And Adrenaline, which I actually just unlocked and haven't had a chance to use yet. It doubles the damage of soldiers and makes them invulnerable for 5 seconds. That could be really useful, actually. And so we basically pick which way we want to go. Do we want to get coins or do we want to get resources? It has an interesting modifier. Every turn, like every level, it rolls these 3 slot machines, basically, and it gives us 3 different things. So, enemies explode on death, inflicting 25% of their health to enemies around. So that's actually a good one for us, unless it hits us too. I'm not sure. During construction, an additional enemy appears. The enemy has a chance to split by 2 at death. So, not so bad, pretty good. And these are our upgrade points. We have 8 of them right now. Ah, crud. I didn't mean to spend another one. When research is activated, additional enemy appears. Huh, it's exactly the same. Oh, never mind. It's not exactly the same. Enemies explode on death to enemies around. During construction, an additional enemy appears, and when research is activated, additional enemy appears. So we can go for coins or we can go for resources. I think I want to go for coins. So basically what we need to do is we have these different buildings, right? The connectors produce energy. The increased radius of construction also. And we need to get at least 1 barracks pretty soon. Uh-oh. We may get stomped right here already. Here I am saying that I know what I'm doing, and then this happens. Go ahead and get a barracks up. It'll spit out units pretty fast. There we go. So need to repair. Oh, that's right. You have to actually select the building first and then select repair. So the thing that was initially kind of confusing about this is I was thinking, well, I need multiple barracks, you know, and I need some turrets, and I need a lab, and I need all of this stuff. So what we have is we have connectors that give us more energy. We need lots of those. Barracks, or warehouse, which produces resources, which is okay. They kind of come in naturally on their own. A turret that attacks opponents. Barracks produce soldiers, and a lab which provides access to research. Honestly, what I found is the best thing you can do. You think, oh well, I'll need turrets, I'll need a couple of warehouses, I'll need a couple of barracks. What seems to work best is put down 1 barracks and a bunch of connectors. The only problem with that is they get more expensive every time you put one down. But the more connectors we have, the faster it pumps out units. Now, if we were to build a secondary barracks, it splits in between the 2 of them, like our power production, and that's not really something we want to do. Because see, I mean, look how fast we're popping out people. It's every second or so we're getting a new unit. And in the beginning, there were a lot of stalemates. There was a lot of we keep spitting out units, they keep spitting out units, because their units come in big waves. Ours are like a steady stream. One thing that can work is keep building connectors up and then plop down a barracks like right here, so there's less. We get to pop out a big chunk of guys too. And sometimes a turret can be good too. So like build up some connectors here and then drop a turret down. It does some pretty good damage. Sometimes their pathfinding has trouble too. So see, we're going to drop that down right there. And that kind of gets in our way. And we don't get everything back that we did. So we probably want to put our barracks here first. Yeah, so that's one of the problems. I do enjoy the game though. I really like the art style. I really like the way the units look. Very reminiscent to me of StarCraft, you know, Terrans versus the Zerg. Not in a bad way. I'm not saying it ripped it off or anything, but it is a lot of fun. My only problem is that you eventually get to a point where you're just constantly spitting out enemies, but it seems like it's really hard to make a dent. And that's new. I haven't run into that before. I guess they can build turrets now too. But you also get... That's where some of these come in handy. So let's use our adrenaline. Makes all of our guys invincible. And let's use our drone. You can see he comes right out. And he actually flies over this stuff. And hopefully he can take that turret out. But he does have limited time. He stays active, though. He'll keep coming back and forth and helping. And maybe I'm no good at the game. Maybe I don't understand how it works. But this is usually what I found works the best. So we probably want to get another barracks. Put it here. You'll notice this one will start putting out units slower because it's having to divide the power between the two of them. So what we want to do is actually get rid of that barracks. And then probably wouldn't be a bad idea to plop a turret down right here. That way it can help cut back some of these. And then I'm probably going to actually move our barracks here and put in some more power connectors behind us. But yeah, we're doing good so far. We got half his health down. But see, it's taking our money. See, it keeps dipping down to keep refilling our turret and our drone. You can see now our units are actually spitting out slower too, because we're having to share more energy with this. Can't quite put one there. We can probably do a warehouse here. I don't know if I want the barracks that close. we'll get that barracks up and running, and then we'll get rid of this one. But we want to build another connector first, otherwise we'll lose our bridge. But connectors are super expensive. Go and use our adrenaline so our guys definitely live through this fight. Or at least live through most of it. And it looks like we got their hive, so I think we won. So it's really just a war of attrition. Hey, we made it to level 5. And yeah, that got us some good upgrade coins that we can use to upgrade these things. Ah, see, I didn't notice that. So it doubles the damage of soldiers and makes them invulnerable for 5 seconds. Soldiers who receive any amount of damage after the end of the skill effect die. So that's kind of bad. The drone has been something very useful. And that's been pretty useful too. So it says I can upgrade this again for 16, but it's already at level 4. Oh, okay, it won't let me. Then let's work on this. Soldier attack radius goes up by 20. Let's go for resources this time. And let's roll the dice and see what we got. Ooh, we got 4 this time. So this could be tough. When the enemy building is destroyed, additional enemies appear. An extra point of improvement when winning. Oh, okay, cool. Enemies reflect 15% damage. Ooh. That could be bad. Let's build our connector here. Build our barracks right there. So that's already making a good stride towards the front, more than it was before. I still haven't decided if warehouses really do much. It's like our piddly little soldiers do fine, as long as we're spitting them out every second. It seems like we don't really need much else. So you kind of just want as many connectors as possible. And one barracks is usually fine. Sometimes you need to build them up farther. Ooh. But they always spit out a ton of enemies. So then we need 240 for another connector. Hey, we won. Sometimes if you're fast enough, you just win. I think I want to wait and upgrade that. So let's go for coins this time. What do we got? Extra point of improvement when winning. Enemies reflect. Enemy building reflect. Move faster when approaching a soldier. Neat. Just keep making that harder and harder. Uh-oh. Do we have them coming from 2 directions? That's new. That's new and bad. Maybe that's just so I can build farther back? I don't know. We may need 2 barracks, minimum. I only see... Well, yeah, but... oh, that's not good. Okay, so that's new. Yeah, let's get the drone to help out. no, I need you to stay down there, drone. So we may actually need to build a warehouse so we can produce enough resources. This is new. I like this. Hopefully they can keep working on this side. And the drone can keep us safe down here, at least for now. The drone's pretty effective. I spent a lot of time leveling him up. Or a lot of resources leveling him up, at least. So far, the drone seems to be holding him back. Did we get it up there? Awesome. I wouldn't say I have the game down to a science or anything, but this seems to be working pretty well. And when I was trying to build a bunch of barracks and a bunch of warehouses and things like that, it wasn't going very well. I was losing, or I would get hit with these stalemates. Also, pathfinding. Pathfinding definitely has some issues. So as soon as I can build another barracks, I think I'm going to plop it down one of these two spots. And then I'm going to destroy that one. If I ever get enough money to do it. Oh, almost got it. Almost got it. Come on, guys. Nice. So that puts us at 26. Not quite enough to level that up yet. So let's do resources. Honestly, I haven't noticed much of a difference in between what we get. Between coins and resources. Maybe I'm missing something? I don't know. I haven't found anything that really gives me much information about the game. But I can't deny how fun it is. And it's only $7. And I've had a lot of fun with it, especially for a $7 game, you know? Yeah, so that's not so good. Okay, so we've got lots of directions for him to come from. Let's go ahead and pop down a barracks. And a connector. And another connector. Seems like it started me with extra money, at least. It is definitely getting more interesting now that there's multiple fronts to fight on. Spit out that drone pretty much as soon as possible, because he's a big help. Oh, we've almost got his first one. I wish you could tell them to prioritize certain enemies. Because I'd like for them to ignore these guys and prioritize the building. Nice. Okay, so we got the one building over there. We're working on that building. And honestly, the biggest problem is just whenever they attack the base, it always seems like a bunch of enemies jump out and we get bottlenecked. Whoops, I keep trying to build warehouses when I want connectors. Yeah, I realize the game's about indirect control, but I would really like if I could say take this pathway, or take this pathway, or individually select my units and maybe give them specific paths. But I get that's not what the game's about. I guess I'm just kind of rambling about my preferences. Oh, bummer. We might live long enough to take out the base. Nah, I don't know. Might build another barracks over here, that way we do have them coming from both directions. This is the first time I think that's actually been a viable, useful strategy. And then we will need more connectors. Hey, never mind. We got them. And then we probably... It looks like when we select coins... No, resources, we get more of the actual resources. So I'm not really sure what coins do. So now we've got increased soldier attack radius and increased soldier speed. Extra points. I don't know what those other ones are. Additional enemies when using this skill. Enemies reflect 15% damage. During construction, additional enemy appears. Extra point of improvement when winning. Oh, coming from both sides again? Okay. Well, I think what worked pretty well last time was put the barracks here and then have the drone just defend us. Put the connector here. Close to the barracks so it's kind of safe. Because without a connector, we're in big trouble. Oh, don't come out that side. Bummer. I guess we could plop a turret down back here, but I don't know how much good that would really do us. I think we just want to keep going with the connectors. And let them do their thing. I think there's a lot more down that way, fellas. Well, hey, whatever works. But, I like the aesthetic. I like that it all just kind of takes place in, like, this... I don't know if it's supposed to be a spaceship or what, but, like, this big, like, floating thing out in space. I think that's really cool. So, yeah, it looks like we got a long way to go with those. But we got a bunch of troops now, which would actually be faster if that was not in the way. So we want to build a connector here, and we want to start branching down, now that we know that our stuff's going to be safe. We want to put another barracks as far down as we can. The scroll speed is so slow, and you can't scroll with the arrow keys. That is something I would like to see implemented as well. Yeah, just a huge chunk of enemies. Oh, good lord. Bottleneck them, boys. Go, Drawn. It would also be really cool if you could build more than one type of unit. You know, maybe like a sniper unit or a rocket launcher unit that you could, you know, they'd come in and they'd park down here and kind of pick off enemies from a distance. Let's see. Oh, God. Sorry. Punch the microphone. So yeah, this goes up for every time we upgrade something. It goes through the roof. But yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not some earth-shattering game or anything. But I think it is a lot of fun. It's a pretty good time waster. I've had a lot of fun with it. It was kind of confusing at first, you know? Because I was just looking at all of these different buildings. And you unlock more buildings as you go, so I only started with a couple. But I didn't understand how the energy worked, and the game didn't really explain it to me. But I think it's a pretty small development team. But I think it's pretty great. And like I said, it's only $7. So you should go out there, support the developers. As always, thank you so very much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.